Hi guys, I'm Wendy Van.
And I'm Alex Van.
Today we're making a video about all has reason. So our last video we talked about all is equal, and that is about acceptance of self, which is really important and the cornerstone of any kind of growth, whether that is just you want to make things better for yourself, or you'd like to, create something new in your life. You have to accept and know yourself well. So this concept, all has reason, is about intention. And so one of the things that we know is that research show that we have like 50 to 75,000 thoughts a day. And that has definitely increased over time because of our society and the shortened attention span and concentration things due to, kind of the bombardment of the environment. And so one of the things that's under this concept is to really understand your thoughts, because that's what's creating your life. Know your wants and desires and use them more effectively. Have an intention of what it is you want to create, instead of feeling like life's running you. You get to decide how you want life to go. So all has reason really is about those kind of inner desires and purpose and direction that you want for your life. And so Alex is going to give us a little deeper meaning to what that concept is.
I thought you did pretty well there, but yeah, I can add what I can. All has reason also has an application to understanding the purpose behind events.
Okay.
Going forward so you've identified your intention, you've identified your desire. Now it's looking at that desire and sort of panning outwards and seeing, what will this do if I go through with this? What effect will this have? And it's becoming cognizant of what your choices mean for you and the people around you, and being willing and able to take responsibility for those choices. And it's an important concept in the whole, because you very well, if you fully grasp this concept, you very well know the effect you have. This allows you to judge that for yourself, whether what you did or what other people are doing is beneficial, detrimental, and to give you a sort of judge of the situation.
So you're talking about that the choices we make is kind of a cause and effect situation, where when we make a choice, there's going to be a ripple effect where you're throwing a stone into a pond and it's rippling outward. And so really understanding the intention behind that choice and being thoughtful enough to say, kind of, if this is what I want to create, what is the impact that is having out there in the world?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Alex came to me when he was about 14 years old and said, we're going to write a book about, at the time he called them God's 4 laws. And I kind of laughed at him because we're very much an attention deficit, kind of wild and crazy family. And so I did not have any concept of how we were going to write books. But that was definitely an intention he was already setting about making sure that these concepts were understood. And I actually wrote a book before this one called Sensory Integration Plus, and it was the story about Alex when he was little. And then we are writing this book, which is about these 4 concepts. And that couldn't have been in my thought. It wasn't in my processes of this is a choice we were going to make until he was pretty adamant that we will write this one day and this is important. And so from that decisions, from his intention and choices, we've been on a journey to know ourselves and to really put these concepts into practice. We were surrounded by some wonderful teachers along the way that really helped us dive into who we are as people, what do we have to offer. And so when we're writing this book and when we're making these videos, we are very intentional that this is a community that is to support and accept all those there, that this community is safe, that there's not bullying, that we put into practice these laws. And so every time we sit down to do a task, that thought process and that intention is set. What happens is it gives a real sense of purpose. There's a movement of purpose that flows out. Do you want to add more to how knowing your thoughts, setting your intention is tied to purpose?
That might take a processing moment.
we need to name these moments when he's collecting information. So that we can remind everyone that he perceives the information and then can process it through so that we can get like a clear answer. And it is definitely something he's refined over the years. It was very difficult when he first started out. Receiving messages were kind of taxing on his body, and he's gotten much better at being able to gather them and collect the information and provide it. I will say that it has changed a lot of people's lives already. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's tied to purpose in the way that a soul is a creator. That is what it's designed to be. It is designed to learn and grow and create in this world and eventually others. And that process is achieved through a very long span of various different lifetimes and choices and decisions that each have an impact, and learning how that impact works and how that impact ripples forwards throughout time. And it is in those small moments, those small decisions that have great impact that you learn the true form of creation, of purpose. And it is the ability to approach a situation and get a desired outcome, no matter what. It is the ability to walk into a situation and say a single word and be able to adjust the entire room to meet what you need. Purpose, in essence, comes after intention. Intention has to come first, but intention must come with knowledge. It must come with experience. And once you have the both, you can create a purpose, which is sort of like a movement throughout a situation to adjust and alter things to fit it.
So a person has an idea, a desire, and then they think about, okay, what do I intend to do with this? You know, do I want to, let's say, buy a new car? And so they have that thought, and then they set about their intention of, I need to find something that I desire or want. Now purpose starts to flow in. Well, what is the purpose of having a new car? Well, I'm traveling more, so I need something reliable. This can aid me in helping somebody else out. So like out of that comes, what is the purpose of that intent?
So it's sort of like an equation. It is intention plus effect equals purpose.
Gotcha. Okay, so in essence, all has reason is really understanding the thoughts, intention, and purpose behind what it is you're trying to create.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, it's understanding that we are creators and how we go about that process.
Yes, and one of the main reasons this law came to be is, again, a sort of form of responsibility we had to take for our actions and those around us. And it's a sort of discipline we had to learn. And people have to learn in general to exist around each other. We do it unconsciously. We note an effect we have, and then either good or ill experiences happen regarding that effect, and we adjust how we approach a situation. Our intention changes to allow for that other person or avoid certain landmines we don't want to hit in a social situation. So it's a necessary thing to learn what effect you have, and then to learn how to adjust that effect to a situation to make sure everyone is okay, heard, and involved.
Okay, I remember as you're saying that, a real life experience where I first had learned that you as an individual could have an effect in a room full of people. And I worked for the state of Oklahoma, and I had an incredible staff I worked with. There were quite a few of them, and they were all professional. We worked the early intervention team, and this staff would get sometimes very hot under the collar with each other, and staffings would get very intense. And I learned when those moments were happening to get really still and peaceful myself. And it was like a hush would come over the room where people would begin to settle down, and then we could talk about what it is we needed to get accomplished and then move forward. And I was amazed how every time that happened, it would respond so quickly. And so just owning my own responsibility of not reacting to the situation, making a choice to respond to the situation, and then bringing in more of the calmness and peace affected the whole staff room.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was kind of like I was just playing with it because I didn't really understand it at the time, but it was amazing how often it occurred so well. And so now that I understand thought is cause and how to set intentions and how to really understand purpose behind things, then I create very easily. I can decide, this is how I want this to go, and set my intention without controlling it. We'll get into a lot of that in a little bit. Just setting my intention and purpose that this is what I would like to create, and then allowing that movement so it kind of comes in the form that it should be. And so it's been quite fun to learn and practice that. And we will probably have lots more video about that. You know, learning to manifest the things you want in life is key to having the life that you want to create and not feel like life is running you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.